Good evening, everyone. Here's my audience. "22 states and Washington, D.C. have all legalized the use of marijuana for medicinal purposes, despite the fact that the federal government maintains that it has no medical use. No medical use. Can you believe that? The United Patients Group has an extensive list of illnesses that are treatable by the plant, including Alzheimer's, muscular dystrophy, and seizures. Even Dr. Oz has joined the pro-medical marijuana camp, saying it's hugely beneficial. This evening, I'm going to inform you about the medical marijuana, and I'm going to give you a condensed history of the plant, discuss which medical conditions have shown improvement from it and how so, and explain the risks and benefits of legalizing marijuana in America. Marijuana as a medicine is not a new concept. It's been used for thousands of years for many different things. According to the website deamuseum.org, the first documented use of marijuana dates back to 2727 by the Chinese Emperor Shen Nung. An October 2009 article in Time magazine tells how the emperor prescribed marijuana tea to treat such ailments as gout, rheumatism, and poor memory. The article went on to describe the uses in the Middle Eastern countries for stressful relief for religious purposes. The uses of marijuana are literally endless. In addition to treating a variety of medical conditions, many things are made from the hemp plant, including rope, paper, and even an environmentally friendly fuel. According to 420highway.com, the very first law in America regarding marijuana was enacted at Jamestown Colony in Virginia in 1619. This law specifically ordered all farmers to grow hemp, according to drugwarrant.com. But this wouldn't be the last law made regarding this plant. Must-grow laws continued over the next 200 years, during which time you could be jailed for not growing hemp. And it was so valuable to colonists, it was often used as legal tender. In 1910, the beginning of the end came for the American hemp growing times, when it was prohibited, starting in California and quickly swept across several states before it was officially banned at the federal level on August 2nd, 1937. Ironically, California was also the first state to legalize marijuana use in 1996. Recently, the prohibition of marijuana has been tested with 2 states, Washington and Colorado, allowing marijuana use for recreational purposes, and several others slated to put it on the vote in coming elections. There are also several elections seeking to legalize it for medical use. This brings me to my next point, medical conditions that have shown improvement with the use of medical marijuana and the ways that it's helped. Now, the list of medical conditions available at the United Patients Group website is long, listing over 150 conditions for which it can be used for. For example, it can be used to help the symptoms of fibromyalgia, allowing for a reduction of pain and stiffness, enhanced relaxation, and better overall well-being, according to an April 2011 at PLOS1.org. A list published on BusinessInsider.com on April 20th, 2014 gave 23 health benefits to using marijuana. Some were common knowledge, like glaucoma treatment and use in chemo patients to reduce pain and nausea and stimulate appetite. Others were much less known, like that marijuana may actually repair damage done to the lungs for cigarette smokers, and it may actually protect your brain against concussions. Obviously, there's a whole slew of pharmaceutical drugs that could treat these same conditions. For example, my own daughter was recently diagnosed with seizure disorder and prescribed Trileptal. Upon researching this drug at drugs.com, I discovered some of the side effects included possible renal failure, liver disease, lower IQ, personality changes, and thoughts of suicide, in addition to many other undesirable possibilities, especially when we're talking about my 7-year-old. Many parents of children with seizure disorders feel that same way. They are uncomfortable giving their children potentially dangerous pharmaceuticals, but are also not okay with getting their child stoned. Enter the power of science. It has been discovered that there are at least 85 different types of cannabinoids, of which only the one that gets you high is THC. CBD is another type of cannabinoid containing the same medicinal properties as the THC strain, but it's also not psychoactive, so it won't get you stoned, according to RoyalQueenSeeds.com. This makes it highly desirable for parents who have children suffering from seizures or autism who have experienced no relief using Western medicines. Despite all the countless hours of research completed by scientists around the globe on the effects of marijuana, it still remains illegal. The United States federal government claiming it has no known medical uses and classifying it as a Schedule I controlled substance. Legalizing marijuana for medical use in any state has potential benefits and risks. First of all, marijuana is natural, comes from the earth, and is significantly less harsh than pharmaceutical options. Making it available to those who have health problems that could be treated this way is no different than providing any other kind of medication used to treat an illness. On the downside, THC binds to a person cannabinoid receptors, which are concentrated in areas of the brain associated with thinking, memory, pleasure, coordination, and time perception. The effects of marijuana can interfere with attention, judgment, and balance. There are also potential risks and benefits of legalizing it for general recreational use. For example, if it's available to all people over the age of 21, does that mean all adults are going to be lazy, stoned, unfocused all day long? That would be a definite risk that would be concerning. Additionally, I would be concerned about higher crime rates, but Denver has shown a significant decrease in all crimes, with the exception of disorderly conduct disturbing the peace since legalization on January 1st, 2014. As for benefits, taxes have to be mentioned, with Colorado taking in over $10 million in tax revenue in just the first 4 months after legalizing the plant. Also, according to the Colorado Center on Law and Policy, the state is projected to save an additional $52 million just in not having to prosecute and house prisoners convicted marijuana crimes. The fact remains that some people are going to use marijuana as a drug to get high. This is not a new thing, as it has been done for centuries. However, knowing all the medicinal quantities of the plant provides options for treatment for people who think pharmaceutical options are not the best. Thank you for hearing me. Good night.